crackhead name.
His real name is Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
We call him Jane.
Ben.
Marshall.
Ben.
Marshall.
We're back at the table.
Yeah, we are, dude.
I hope you guys enjoyed
Yeah.
the new intro, the new era of the show, trying to be really cool and official.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
I need to make it say Cinema Lounge on the VHS at the front, but I haven't done that.
Well, how's it sound if for the people who aren't watching the video? You just cut that? No, you just hear it all happen.
Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like an intro sequence, except for you'll hear our voices, but you just won't be able to see that.
Perfect.
Otherwise, it all just looks the same and makes sense as far as I'm concerned.
Whoa. Crazy.
Or
Nice
sounds
work.
the same.
Marshall put in some work on that thing.
I did. I was working a long time. But yeah, if you are not watching the show, I do plan to start putting it on YouTube officially.
The tube.
I do. I've been doing batch exports of old episodes, putting just visual, like Cinema Lounge logo, which is now not the logo anymore.
Yeah.
There's new logo and everything too, full refresh. But I have got like 1 through 27 exported right now that I need to start putting on YouTube.
Wow.
And then you will be able to watch the show. If you don't have a Spotify subscription, you will be able to watch the show on YouTube going forward.
Wait.
And because I believe Spotify is the only platform that has video natively, everything else, iTunes, Overcast, all the other podcatchers don't automatically support that. And I don't really know how that works, but it basically it doesn't. So,
it's going to ruin the illusion when people go to YouTube. They're going to be confused after hearing our sexy voices for so long. We'll get that situation where they're like, oh, that's what Ben looks like? Not nearly as sexy and
not
masculine.
nearly as ugly as I thought.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, it actually is an improvement to look at my face.
I think that you're a handsome
Thank
guy.
you, but my voice, not so much.
No.
That's what you just said.
I'm saying that your voice is already handsome. and that people will be
save.
like, "Oh my gosh.
Wow.
How is this possible?"
Oh, he's
How
more
can he be
attractive
this handsome?
than his gravelly, manly, masculine voice.
It's mildly unbelievable.
Thanks.
That's the way I often describe
Wow,
you.
I was feeling bad and now I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm mildly unbelievable.
People ask about
Like,
I
what's
say
Ben like? Mildly
I don't bring
unbelievable?
up the podcast. But
Yeah.
if it somehow comes up, usually there will be someone who's like, Marshall is really a movie. I'll be talking about movies and be like, this guy loves movies so much he does a podcast about it.
Yeah.
Like, I never bring it up. That's always the way it happens.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, oh, what's this other guy like? I'm like, he's mildly unbelievable.
He's kind of there for his unbelievableness.
It's you just cannot believe
wow.
that guy is real.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Mildly. Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Usually you can understand.
But every once in a while,
Unbelievable.
mildly. That makes sense.
This is the show energy.
Wow. Hey,
We've
this
been missing
is so
this.
good to be in front of each other. I like
It is.
legitimately, I think sitting next to each other was like, and I just felt naked and exposed.
Without
and
the table.
And when I wore shorts, people could just see my moose knuckle. It was just stuff rode up and
This
it
feels
was
better.
weird. I always felt like I needed to wear pants so you didn't see my kneecaps.
Yes, I legit on the Blade Runner episode, I think it was. I was wearing shorts that day. I went and put pants on for the show.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow, the desk
I like
is good.
this though.
That's
Like I
good.
feel like we've had a weird energy for a while on the show, and part of that is me being wildly stressed
was
and
like-
you being wildly
it was
stressed
easier
from
for
like
you and-
almost having a baby and
Yeah,
stuff.
we're getting back into our
And then you
our
did have a
normal
baby.
selves. I
Nothing
did.
weird. Almost having a baby was that you weren't there yet.
Right.
Nothing went wrong.
Yeah. No. That. That's correct. I didn't almost have a baby. There was a completion of baby.
Yeah. You were almost
Birth.
having a baby,
Yeah. It was on the horizon. for
and
a
the
while.
baby was had.
We've had a baby.
It's a good baby.
And I was telling Marshall earlier, she pooped today for the first time all week, which
Did
is
I
great.
poop today?
For the first time all week. I don't know if I've pooped today. That's bizarre.
Let's
I
take a
had
break.
pizza last night. Yeah, let's get going.
I might have. Well, Ben, we
Okay.
should keep this moving.
Yes.
Today's Mission Impossible Dead... welcome everyone to Cinema Lounge, the official podcast of The Great Scub Do, the YouTube channel that we will be uploading this show to.
We'll be touching it.
How exciting! And we're talking about doing YouTube stuff outside of the show. We'll see if that materializes, but the one thing I can say for sure is that this show will be going on YouTube as well.
Yeah. We thought about streaming a game that relates to the movie.
Which could be fun. I don't think we can commit to doing that every week, but we could do it periodically, and it could be a fun thing.
For funsies.
Yeah. Like if we know something's coming up,
get,
we can do something way ahead
10 YouTube views. Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, I've been getting a lot of stuff in my suggested that's like podcast stuff like this, which is kind of why I've been kind of pushed to put this on YouTube.
The algorithm.
So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this would be worth it.
You can kind of build an audience that way just because of the algorithm.
Yeah, put it on shorts and stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
Shorts are huge.
That's funny.
We prefer pants.
A what's that called? A freaking oh god. What's it called when the two opposite things at the same time? Jesus.
Oxymoron?
Nope, but
OxyClean?
No. His shorts are huge. They're short and they're huge.
Yeah.
I can't remember what that's called, dude.
I don't know.
Ah! It'll come to me later.
We'll figure it out. But we are here today to talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning
Speaking
Part
of short
1.
Things.
Long movie.
Short Tom Cruise, long movie.
Short Tom Cruise, long movie.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's the latest in the Mission Impossible franchise. We were also going to talk about the actor strike and writer strike today. We don't have time. I think we might do an entire episode just about that. Just kind of put that out as like an intermediary. Not really a full episode, but it's like, let's talk about this thing that's going on in Hollywood because it's really important.
Yeah.
And there are big ramifications of what this could mean for the industry, especially what it means for what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like it could change things going forward, but like Hollywood is basically shut down right now.
Yeah.
No production can really happen.
Sure. It'll be legitimately great because then so many listeners will come to the podcast because they'll be so hungry for older movies. They'll be like, there's nothing new coming out of Hollywood. I need to learn about the Maltese Falcon.
Why was that the one that I was thinking of too?
Really weird. I don't know.
Episode 4 of the show?
So they'll be searching it up and we'll freaking just watch, Marshall. Our numbers are going to shoot through the roof.
I'll shoot you through the roof.
Damn.
I have one very small tight news, and that's just that we got more DC casting news for Superman Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Which was, we have Isabella Merced. I don't know if I pronounced it right. She's Latin. Is going to be playing Hawk Girl. You would know her from playing Dora in the Dora movie that came out a few years ago. Edie Gattegui, also probably didn't pronounce that right. Sorry. Is going to be playing Mr. Terrific, a fantastic character that I'm really excited to see on live action. You would recognize this guy from being the dude from X-Men First Class who is named Darwin and is like, I can't be killed, and then is immediately the one who's killed with like no...
I haven't seen First Class.
It's a great movie, and he deserved to get more time in it because he was really good for the 5 minutes he was in it. Nathan Fillion...
That sounds familiar.
You would know him from being fan cast as Nathan Drake for 20 years, being Captain Malcolm Reynolds from Firefly. He's in all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Good friend of James Gunn.
Got it.
He was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Got it.
and 2 and 1. And he was Arm Fall Off Boy or TDK in the Suicide Squad very briefly. He's in like all of his stuff. He's a very Michael Rooker in that way. He's going to be playing Guy Gardner, who is the worst Green Lantern, just the worst guy, just a jerk and terrible.
Oh, cool.
He's got red hair and a bowl cut, and he's got his Green Lantern costume is like, he's got the regular skin tight suit and everything, but he's got a green vest that has like a popped collar.
Oh.
He's the worst, but we love him.
Okay, cool.
It's perfect for Nathan Fillion. Anthony Kerrigan, who plays NoHo Hank on Barry, he's fantastic. He's one of the 2 guys in the industry who's got like alopecia and has kind of created his whole like look around that. There's whole vibe around
word.
that.
I love that word.
Alopecia?
Yeah, it's a good one.
It's interesting. But he's going to be playing Rex Mason, otherwise known as Metamorpho, the Element Man. He can turn his body into any element, essentially.
Superheroes in this film.
Yeah, I feel like they're probably going to be like mostly background for them. Like not
Still,
background,
though,
but like they'll show up and
it's so
not be main
different
characters.
from
Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
To start out your universe and throw Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, Hawk Girl, Rex Mason, like all these people in there is a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about it, and I think that James Gunn can do it well. And I don't think that these will just be glorified cameos. I think that like he's not just going to kill off Guy Gardner because Nathan Fillion's his buddy. Like, I think that's genuinely really good casting. I don't think that's just a bit part. And I hope that we get to see him in maybe the Green Lantern show that I think is still happening. No, yeah, they have a show called Green Lanterns.
Oh, cool.
It's going to be on HBO. It's going to
nice.
be about Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, I think.
Or will it be on HBO? If it's on HBO, that'd be wild.
No, it would be a Max original, I guess.
Okay.
And then we mentioned briefly a couple weeks ago now, Lois Lane has been cast. Rachel Brosnahan is playing her, and she was the marvelous Miss Maisel. She's going to be great as the spunky, independent journalist Lois Lane. I think that's great casting. And the pretty much unknown David Corenswet as Superman Clark Kent. I'm excited about him. He's kind of a little-looking guy right now, but he can bulk up. He's got a few years before that movie comes out.
And
also the writer's strike and actor's
strike. He's got
strike.
so much time.
Yeah, so we don't know what could be happening there.
Yeah, he's bulking now.
Probably.
Yeah, absolute beefcake.
Is he allowed to bulk under union rules?
That's a great... Like, sorry, you're not allowed to prepare for roles by working out twice a day with a trainer.
No bulking allowed.
Nope.
We'll see.
Sorry.
So that's the tight news.
I'm
excited.
The longest short tight news. Look at us go. There's a theme to this episode. Long, short, long, short.
Long, short round.
Longest.
Dr. Jones. Yeah.
That's racist. Okay.
It's not.
So before we get to Mission Impossible, Marshall.
Yes.
I brought you something. A gift.
Butthole tea.
It's bubble tea.
Oh.
Is that what you thought it is this whole time? No wonder you've never tried it. Marshall, everybody, Marshall has never tried bubble tea
I have
before.
not. I'll hold it up
So
for the
this
camera.
is very fun. A newer tea place here in Lincoln called Saru. I like it a lot. I've got a punch card. They're punching holes in my card.
Nice.
Anyway, here's the fun thing about bubble tea, Marshall.
Just stab
if you
it?
didn't freaking know, you just stab it. That's like, from beginning to end, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
But the beginning is especially fun. Look, it says from the top, to meet the best taste, sweet taste, enjoy.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's not strange.
it sounds like you gave AI a prompt to write something that sounded to make it think that it wasn't English speaking.
Yeah.
To meet the best taste, sweet taste, enjoy. So you grab the straw with the pokey end down, you stab it through, you drink up, and it's a good time.
Okay, give me a straw.
What?
You were literally just holding both of them.
No, I was not.
I swear
I've had
you
this
were.
one the whole time. Oh, hey!
Glad it was in your pocket. That's perfect. Okay, great.
Okay, right?
Yeah. We just stab.
We just stab, wherever you want. On
Okay.
the side, in the middle.
1, 2, 3, stab.
Isn't that so great? Oh,
It's
that's
nice.
so good. Especially just from a functional standpoint. Like, if you're not gonna drink it right away, I don't want a hole in my lid. I want to be able to take it and not slosh, you know?
I'll put a hole in your lid.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just check our timer real quick here. Okay, we're good. I try it now?
Yeah, just try it.
Okay.
If you're a listener who doesn't like gross ASMR sounds, stop listening.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It kind of tastes like a latte a little bit.
Yeah. Especially since it's the black tea one. Oh yeah, so listener, this is just a regular old milk tea, black tea, regular old tapioca pearls in the bottom. Excuse me, boba.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know that I'd go out of my way to get it necessarily, but I like it.
Maybe you'd like Laura's matcha version.
I don't want to eat things that are just like green paste. I don't understand what that is. And if I don't understand something, then it's probably bad. And that's my perspective on everything in life.
That makes a lot more
Let's
sense
talk
for your
about
views
Mission
on
Impossible.
immigration.
Exactly. We're not going to elaborate on that, and people can fill in whatever they think. Whatever
Because-
your political views are,
Yeah.
they're correct.
It's funny because you will be immigrating at the end of this year for a short amount of time.
Probably. So let's talk about the movie. We should also say I'm about to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer. I am doing the Barbenheimer. I'm seeing Barbie at 4:30, and I'm doing Oppenheimer at 8.
What are you doing in between?
Probably eating very quickly and then going to Oppenheimer.
Makes sense.
But my friend Donovan, it will be going, and Donovan also saw Mission Impossible, and he probably will join us partway through this just by virtue of we don't have a lot of time. We're running late because we reset up the entire set really late notice, which is why like I'm at a different focal length than Ben is because this is just happens to be the lenses that we have, and hopefully I can buy another 35 before the next episode. So let's talk about Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, starring Tom. Where is it?
Bombadil.
Score, script, performances, starring Tom Cruise. Tom Bombadil. Tom Cruise, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, Haley Atwell, Ving Rhames, Vanessa Kirby, Asai Morales, Palm Clementif, Shay Wiggum, Greg Tarzan, great middle name, Greg Tarzan Davis, Henry Cerny, and Carrie Elwes. Written by Eric Gendrison, who wrote 3 episodes of Band of Brothers. Chris McQuarrie, also directed by Chris McQuarrie. He also wrote Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible Fallout, Edge of Tomorrow, Valkyrie, Usual Suspects. I did not know those last ones were written by him. It's very cool. Cinematography by Fraser Taggart. This seems to be his first major time as a DP. The score is Lauren Balfe, who is fascinating to me, and I want to talk about the music a little bit at some point. Like his credits that I wrote down here: Modern Warfare 2, Assassin's Creed 3, and Revelations, Mission Impossible Fallout, Tetris, The Florida Project, Geostorm, Hurricane Heist, Pacific Rim 2, Gemini Man, Ticket to Paradise, a lot of other stuff. Yeah. Like completely all over the place, no real specialization. But
a lot of stuff that's kind of pretty stylized. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. The one that I also added on here that we don't usually have is keep your feet on your side of the table. I'm going to put a barrier between
Have I been doing that all episode?
Every single episode.
Are you serious?
Yes, all the time.
You've never told me.
I know.
You passive-aggressive bitch.
Oh, man. The one thing that I added on here that's out of our ordinary is I put the editor on here, which I think I might include a lot more because it's such a skill. And the editor was Eddie Hamilton, who also did Top Gun Maverick, Mission Impossible Fallout, Kingsman 1 and 2. And I put that on there just because I thought this movie was cut so well. And to make really good action and really creative action, you need that. And you can have the best performances in the world and the best directing, the best score and everything, all of this different stuff. But if you have a bad editor, then it's not good. But also, if you have all of those things before that suck, and you have a really good editor, you can save a movie in the edit.
Wasn't that like
Star Wars?
George Lucas and his wife? Yeah.
Yes, Marsha Lucas at the time. I don't think they were married at the time, and they're not married now. But they were married at some point. But Marsha Lucas was one of the editors on the original Star Wars, and she completely redid the Death Star trench run to make it like it was not good originally, and she completely changed it around and made it good. It's like you can really save a movie in the edit, and the edit for this I thought was really good. I mean, you look at the car chase in Indy. There's weirdly a lot of comparisons that we can draw between Dial of Destiny and this, and I just look at the car chase in that and in this. I'm like, man, like one of these is extremely creative and completely entertaining and enthralling the entire time.
Yeah, the car chase scene, you mean?
Yes.
Specifically, yes.
I mean, even just the movie overall, but the car chase specifically.
Yeah.
And the other one is the car chase, just a basic car chase.
Yeah.
And it's very clear which one is which.
Yeah.
I
wonder what the timestamps are for both those car chases.
I would be curious.
Like, I wonder if they're the exact same, or maybe even longer in Mission Impossible.
That's what I would wonder.
Yeah.
I want to start out, first of all, I want to thank Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie for coming to the podcast and really coming out and really just supporting podcasts today.
Marshall, I need the teleprompter. Where's the teleprompter?
Yeah. I'm joking about how I'm sure it was the same way when you saw it.
Yes.
Tom Cruise loves the movies.
Yeah.
He loves going to the movies and he loves his popcorn. And Chris McQuarrie and Tom Cruise did a little intro before the movie of just like, thanks for coming to our movie. Everybody worked hard on this.
Which was the same as Top Gun Maverick. And
did they do that on Top Gun Maverick too?
Yeah. So which in Top Gun Maverick it was like, oh yeah, movies are like back open again. Like this kind of makes a little bit more sense. Like this is the first big thing people are going out and seeing. But then for this one, it was a little bit like,
that was a year and a half ago.
Is this the new thing? Is this just what you do now, Tom Cruise? Yeah.
It loses its. I just thought that was funny. I was writing notes quickly on my phone in the theater, and I just wrote Tom Cruise, or autocorrect, Tim Cruise and Q, thank me.
That's fun.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
We need to get a kick cam.
No, I'm putting it over there. So yeah, that's very fun to roll in that way.
What do you think of the film? What do you think of the movie?
I thought it was enjoyable. It's good to start off with this. I thought it was. The movie wrapped, and I was like, that was fun. That was good. It's summertime movie.
Yeah.
Like, great. I think it's up there with the other top Mission Impossible movies.
I would agree.
Maybe we can get into ranking them later on.
Yeah.
But
I need to save that for my own. When Ben isn't here, Marshall ranks a franchise.
Perfect. Nah, you can double dip. You can do it again.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Anyway, so I thought it was good. I thought it followed. It was like a classic actiony movie. It was a classic Mission Impossible movie.
It really was.
That was kind of fine
like
to me.
There were a lot of callbacks to Mission Impossible 1.
Yeah.
Which you recently rewatched,
I did
right?
rewatch it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's so interesting to me because it's directed by Brian De Palma, and it's so different from all of the other ones. It is very different from this one, but there's a lot of stuff that seems like it's callbacks to that one. Like there's a lot of Dutch angles in this movie, and which Chris McQuarrie has said were like not intentionally referencing that style of cinematography from the first one, but it felt very Mission Impossible 1. And like we get more close-up magic from Tom Cruise, which is an iconic thing from the first movie.
So weird.
I love it so much.
Okay, we're not in spoiler mode though, right? Okay.
Good point. Yeah.
But no, it was like the classic Mission Impossible. Every single time there was a mask reveal, it was really enjoyable in this movie.
Yes.
And maybe some people could predict when it was a mask and not. I honestly felt like multiple times they sold those scenes really well. Where somehow, even though they keep doing it, and it's such a classic Mission Impossible thing to pull off the mask, somehow every single time they cover up, like. They suspend your belief for a little bit, where it's still like a reveal every time. You're like, oh,
yeah,
it was him or her the whole time. Like
I even remember there was a part of the movie where they did a very classic like going 360 around a specific character as they're putting the mask on.
Yeah.
And I was specifically watching, and I was thinking to myself like, where can I find the cut, and where can I see the change? And it was so seamless.
Yeah.
Like man, they're so good at this now. And it's because they've done it so many times and they're very practiced at it, but it's genuinely very good.
That's also just a fun kind of calling card or like a classic thing that you get in a Mission Impossible movie that you don't get in other stuff.
The same thing as the wire drop.
It's very silly. Yeah, it's multiple things. I think that's why I said it feels like a Mission Impossible movie, because they do all the classic Mission Impossible things. There's a mask, there's like one person on a microphone, another person with an earpiece in. We're chatting, we're, doing all that stuff. What other like classic stuff in this? Tom Cruise doing crazy stunts.
There were crazy stunts.
Tom Cruise sprinting everywhere he goes. I'm not sure if that man walks ever in the movie.
When he was running on top of the airport, it looked a little silly.
It was silly.
Because it was just this very wide shot of just him by himself running.
So much sprinting.
Which is a little bizarre.
He's gotta. I don't know if his body can put up with that anymore. You gotta watch out.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, it felt classic, and I think it fits right in with the other ones, and I think that's just fine and just great. And does it push the envelope at all?
I don't know if it does. I feel like Fallout is still better than this one.
I think so too. I think
Fallout is probably my favorite.
Me too.
Besides maybe Mission Impossible 3 is the other one that I would put up there, and then 1 is in its own category because it is so different. It's like Mission Impossible 1 almost feels like a 70s like noir movie, the way that it's put together and shot and everything, before it turns into like a late 90s, early 2000s action movie at the end.
Also, do you know that Danny Elfman did the score for that?
I do. Okay. I have notes about that because I want to talk about Lauren Balfe. Let's talk about the music.
Okay.
I think I was looking through this and going through my notes and everything. Lauren Balfe is surprising to me because in my head I kept thinking Klaus Badelt for some reason. So I was thinking like, oh, he's done all these movies. He did Pirates of the Caribbean. He did all these. And then I was looking at his credits and I'm seeing Modern Warfare 2, Assassin's Creed 3, Geostorm, Hurricane Heist, Pacific Rim, Gemini Man. Like, not notable things other than like Modern Warfare 2 and AC3 have fantastic scores. Iconic scores. But a lot of like bog standard kind of nonsense in his filmography. And then suddenly he's doing the Mission Impossible, Fallout, and this one, I think.
Yeah.
And like I wanted to come into this and be like, man, like the score is so good, I really love it. But what I'm realizing is that it's all variations on a theme.
Yeah.
And that Lalo Schifrin, the guy who made the theme song and all of the incidental music all the way back in the day for the TV show.
Do they
in
credit
the 60s,
that in the beginning of the movie? Like when they do like the classic Mission Impossible theme?
Lalo Schifrin.
And with all the cuts to the rest of the movie with the burning fuse. I think they credited that.
Probably. We need to press the button. Ready?
Okay.
We're gonna press the button.
Pause, everybody. We'll come back to the score in a second.
Okay, we're back talking about the music
We
again.
got like 10 minutes, huh?
Whatever, we'll figure it out. Lalo Schifrin does a fantastic job on, like, the music is so iconic. Like, everyone knows the theme song to Mission Impossible. Everybody knows the bum 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 bum, or even just that opening, like, like, it's been spoofed a million times, and I really love it, and all of the incidental music as well. The bum ba-dum ba-dum ba-dum. Like, it's so... I love it because it evokes this 1960s spy movie feeling the same way that, like, the James Bond movies and their scores have that kind of attachment to them, but in a different kind of way.
Yes.
Like, it feels... It's not... I mean, James Bond is very, like, jazzy and swanky and everything, whereas the Mission Impossible stuff is much more, like, utilitarian A-Team kind of, like... But then the A-Team is much more bombastic. This is, like, a reserved kind of, like, we're doing the mission and we're very serious about it.
We're sneaky. We are.
Yes.
Like, it fits into the idea that this thing is still called the IMF.
The Impossible Mission Force.
Like, that's so silly.
And they make fun of that.
Which landed really well.
Yeah.
Like, the International Monetary Fund? No, the other IMF.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
that when you have something that you can't handle, you leave word for this man who you don't know who he is, and you just hope that it gets figured out?
Yeah.
And where does he work with? The IMF. It's called the Impossible Mission Force. What?
Yeah, right.
Like, it is... They make fun of it, but in a way that isn't, like, disrespectful or stupid.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of silly.
Yeah.
But I love that.
I think that scene specifically does, I think, a good job of filling in viewers who haven't seen the other Mission Impossible movies.
It really does.
Which I think that is an interesting part of almost every single Mission Impossible movie, is that you can kind of watch them, for the most part, at least the last couple ones, you can watch them individually and be okay. Which I think is... Especially this one, I've noticed a lot of times where they were giving you background info, explaining what the IMF was. Oh, Hunt, he always does this thing, or
he's always going rogue.
Yeah, so there was really not that many things that you had to watch the other ones to understand, minus like some flashback scenes that would be helpful if you knew. / his new director.
Well, Kittredge is from the first movie.
From the first one, yeah, exactly.
Which is wild.
And he hasn't been in any other ones?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Yeah, but he took over for Alec Baldwin's character.
Which I prefer, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I love he kind of sounds like Rod Serling when he's doing the "Good evening, Mr. Hunt."
Yeah.
Like, that whole thing sounds like
great.
his Twilight Zone intro.
Also, his, like, from the first movie when they first meet, he's like the one that kind of set his team up to die.
He's the one
in
the scene with the exploding gum.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I didn't recognize him. His hair changed. My gosh.
Yeah, so he's like, in the first one, he's kind of like a in the first one too. So
I kind of love that.
Yeah. Anyway, anyway, so we were talking about the score when we paused for our intermission.
Yes. It's interesting to me, just that, like, Lauren Balfe seems to just come in and do these very standard things, but he's done a really good job. Like, honestly, he's working on the foundations that Lalo Schifrin and Danny Elfman set.
Yeah.
But it's still good stuff. Like, the versions of the themes from the last couple of movies have been really good and really enjoyable and very bombastic.
I think each of those movies that you listed for him have a pretty clear box of what it's supposed to sound like.
Yes.
And he gets it to sound like that.
Yes.
Whether it's a video game score, whether it's Tetris, whatever it is, like, this is like, here's the parameters. We don't need you to do anything cutting edge. Take what we've already got here.
Yeah. The fact that he has Modern Warfare 2 and Ticket to Paradise on the same bill.
He's clearly got chops to be able to work with all these different things.
He's not making anything super amazing necessarily, but it's like, I mean, it's like when they brought Richard Marquand in to do Return of the Jedi. Like, they just wanted a guy who could do a good job, and then they could do whatever they want with it later.
Right. How much of Mission Impossible movies is finding people that Tom Cruise can make do what
80%. 80%. There's a great story that Matt Damon tells about, he was having a meeting or hanging out with Tom Cruise one time, and whatever. And he asked him like, man, like this was after Ghost Protocol. I was like, I saw the movie, like that Burj Khalifa thing was amazing. Like, that was the first time that Tom Cruise truly tried to kill himself for us on screen for our entertainment. And he was like, man, how did you do that? He said, okay, this is the idea that I had for a long time. It's a stunt that I've always wanted to do. And I went to my safety guy. I said, this is what I want to do. I want to go and I want to climb this building. And the safety guy said, you can't do that. That's too dangerous. So I got a new safety guy.
So yeah. So how much of these movies are like, yeah, it's just like Tom Cruise producing it. It's his vision. It's we want to do this. Oh, let me go look at. Tom Cruise jumps the motorcycle off the mountain.
Incredible.
Goes back, and he's the one that decides we're gonna do that again. Like he sees the raw footage. We're gonna do that again.
Doing
I can make
hundreds
it look better.
of jumps.
I think he did it 8, 9 times.
I think it was
with the actual,
6 or 7
with the motorcycle, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I wonder how much of it is him having to surround himself with people that make it sound like the score sounds like the way he wants it to, shots look the way it wants it to, you know, that sort of thing.
Well, talking about the script, it's interesting that we have Eric Jendrison on here at all. I don't know what he did, because apparently, like Simon Pegg has talked about, he's described Christopher McQuarrie's style of writing as, have you seen like Wallace and Gromit stuff? He's described it as that scene where Gromit is on the train setting it on the tracks as it's going like a million miles an hour, because they're just literally making it up as they go along. Like they have, it's almost like the level of Iron Man, the first movie, how they just didn't even have a script.
Wow.
Like they have their set pieces, they would come together and they would say, what do you want to do with this movie? And the first, with Fallout, they came to the emotional part first, and they were like, we want to resolve the story with Julia, and we want to have this thing happen with this character storyline. And then they figured out the action to go with that. And this one, they went the other direction. They were like, Chris McQuarrie was like, I want to crash a train, and they want to do this thing. And Tom Cruise said, I want to drive a motorcycle off a cliff, and I want to do this thing.
I think you feel that between the two movies, and I think that's what puts Fallout above this one. That there's not as much of the emotional through line in this one. Or the
I think Haley Atwell does a really good job. It just takes a while to kind of get to that point where she becomes a really sympathetic character in over her head.
Yes. But I think multiple dialogue scenes are really choppy. Yeah. Or there's this whole thing that happens where multiple times in the movie, the dialogue gets cut up between multiple people. Yeah. Where they like pick up on each other's sentences where they left off. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of, I don't even know, I guess in a positive light, you would call it stylized. In a negative light, you'd say it's just
kind of goofy.
Goofy, yeah. It's like, and then we are going to, next person picks it up from across the room, crash the train, and the next person's like, because that would do the, you know, it's a whole like start-stop kind of thing, yeah.
I don't know. I think it works though. I think everybody in this movie puts on a really good performance. I don't know where Donovan is. You think he'd be showing up at this point? I think Tom Cruise does a really good job. He's kind of almost Indiana Jones-esque in these later Mission Impossible movies, where he's just like getting beat up all the time and kind of in over his head. Let's start getting into spoilers, but I'll say I thought it was really funny when he was getting to the mountain and Benji's like, just keep going. He was like, am I gonna start going down at some point? And then he's in the air and Benji's like, what's going on? It's like, he just screams, I'm trying to get away from this mountain. And he just looks, he's so exasperated.
Yeah. So many LOL moments.
When he's driving the Fiat or the Fiat pops up and he is pressing the buttons and he's like, it's like he's impotent. Yeah. It's like this pseudo like impotency sex scene thing between him and Haley Atwell, where he's just like, I swear this never happens. Yeah. Like I know, this isn't how it usually goes. Yeah. And she's just like, it's okay. Yeah. I understand. And it was just in the most genuine way. Yeah.
I love when there's a rack of scooters and he's just like, scooters. Just Tom Cruise despises scooters. And then like the roll down the stair steps where they like swap sides to the opposite seat in the cut. Yeah, wait, what?
It's so good. And then like they're swinging she's trying to drive it and it's spinning around in circles.
Yes.
And the music is completely cut out. It's just silent and you get the sound of this wide shot of the car just continually drifting. And Palm Clementif is just like, what the heck is going on?
So good.
Like there was a moment where I was like, is this dragging too long? And then they started to get really silly with it. I was like, no, this is good.
Good, yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of Fast and Furious comparisons with this one. And I think the difference is why Fast and Furious is really stupid and why this works, because there are a lot of similarities. We have these goofy set pieces and everything, and we have the over-the-top action, and now we have a retconned man from our past is the villain of this movie, which is very Fast and Furious. I think the reason this works and Fast and Furious is seen as so silly and stupid is that these people are super spies, and it's theoretically makes sense that they would be in these situations, they would be doing these things, and they're not, street racers who love to drink Corona in their backyard every weekend.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
That's a good point.
What do you think about the opening idea? Well, sorry, no. Let me reiterate. The villain is very good, and we're gonna say spoilers. Spoilers starting now officially. James Bond dies in the end.
Yeah, correct.
This villain, the overall villain, is an evil AI, which is kind of crazy because movies are made in advance.
Yeah, when
So,
did
like,
they
how
go
do
to
you
production
possibly-
on writing that
Yeah.
as the big baddie?
It's fascinating.
It like
to me.
makes. I mean,
But the AI wasn't a thing when they started production on this.
it was though. I mean, it
In
is
2020, when COVID was happening.
not the same as like not ChatGPT as we know it now, but I mean like as an overall villain,
AI's always
AI
been a
knowledge
thing
stuff has
in
been
films.
a thing for long enough.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't like the big craze of people like being
No,
afraid
it's
of AI.
very fitting. It was very funny. Like pretty much, I think I turned to the person I was watching the movie with, and I was like, "Mission Impossible 5: The Rise of ChatGPT."
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Like, it's interesting, really bizarre that is what it happens to be. But the real villain is
Wait, Mission Impossible 7.
Gabriel.
This is the 7th one.
Tig is already looking for parking. I don't care, Tig. I'm making a podcast and I'm waiting for Donovan.
Um,
The villain is played by Esai Morales, named Gabriel, who's basically like a religious zealot
yeah.
for this thing. And it's like, he is really menacing in a weird kind of spooky way where he's like so dedicated to this thing that he cannot be swayed by anything. And I really, really like the idea of him being this guy from Ethan's past, but not having actually seen that.
Yeah.
It feels weird to me.
But the reason the AI wants him is because he knows that the AI is predicting that using this guy will get in Ethan's head.
Yes.
And he won't be able to prioritize destroying the AI compared to prioritizing this
Getting
guy
rid of
from his
Gabriel.
past. Yeah, yeah.
Well, something interesting about that, I feel like it would feel less goofy to me bringing this guy in from his past that we'd never seen before. It would feel less goofy to me if we had gotten like a flashback sequence of that. Like, we see very brief glimpses, but if we do a Dial of Destiny and open the movie with getting some of that background, then it feels like I have an emotional connection. I've met this woman, and can I tell you something? They shot that.
Oh,
They
really?
had a 25-minute opening sequence that took place in 1989. And they got to it, and McQuarrie was like, I don't like it, it's distracting, cut it. Which is a crazy amount of restraint. And I have to trust him that this is a better thing. Because, we watched Dial of Destiny and we had the exact opposite critique of it. And now I'm here this week and I'm saying, I wish we had a 25-minute opening sequence.
Interesting.
And
but
I
it feels
just-
different.
I don't know.
It does feel that would be totally different, I think.
It would. Because it's not like, I don't know.
Well, I think like that is interesting. For the one for Dial of Destiny, we were like, that was unnecessary. You could have written the story without it, and would have picked up this.
And the whole thing is introducing the villain and giving them history or something.
Yeah. But then on this one, it's just interesting that they didn't include it because it made me feel like I had forgotten something from a previous movie.
Yes, I kept thinking, should I know this guy?
I didn't rewatch Mission Impossible 2, and so I legitimately was like, is this Mission Impossible 2?
No
all
one
I remember,
rewatched Mission
all I
Impossible
remember
2.
from Mission Impossible 2 is the awesome beginning where Tom Cruise is doing yoga on top of like the freaking like Moab rocks, and then a freaking helicopter shows up and shoots an RPG at him.
Yeah, which is giving him his message.
Yeah, very ridiculous.
If I told you where my vacation was, it wouldn't be a vacation. Bum, 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 throw the sunglasses with the message away and they explode.
Freaking good.
John
It's
Woo.
So funny.
John Woo is really good at what he does until he's doing a Mission Impossible movie.
Yeah.
That's a terrible, terrible movie.
I think that's fantastic.
You're wrong.
The intro is fantastic. Anyway, yeah. So what we're saying? Oh, that because they chose to do it this way, it almost felt like we had forgotten something from a previous movie.
Yeah.
Whereas, I think that would be helpful background to give us 20 minutes.
It would.
Maybe not 25, but give us
I mean,
something.
even just like a 15-minute
Yeah.
intro, I think, would be nice.
Or find a way to connect it to a previous movie a little bit better. I don't know. But you
Yeah.
want like a I don't know. Do you think? Here's my weird fan theory.
Tell me your fan theory.
I'm curious
Tell me your fan fiction.
if Gabriel is either already the AI or will become the AI.
Yeah, so I've seen people theorizing
Oh,
that
really? I
Gabriel,
haven't read anything.
Well, I've seen people theorizing that Gabriel is dead. And that the AI has found a bunch of different people that it's putting the mask on.
Oh.
So that's why he's really good at sword fighting and he's really good at karate and like all whatever.
Because he like disappears in the airport with the sunglasses, like the AI.
Yeah, which is
The AI like manufactured him on the
confusing.
glasses.
because I thought that the thing with that scene is that it was erasing him from people's vision, but he saw him and then Tom took the glasses off and he was gone.
Yes. So I feel like it's either the AI hacked into his software on the glasses and
He was just messing
put it
with
on
him
on
purpose.
there, or potentially he is the AI. Like there's that scene where multiple scenes where Gabriel like knows everything about the person, like has seen their Google search history and can tell them exactly
Yeah, does he have,
what
like, an
they
earpiece in or
what they
something? What's
ordered.
that
Yeah,
about?
is it the earpiece? Did he like read a freaking dossier before going and seeing them, or like is he already the AI? The AI has found a way to beam down. Yeah, you're right. Like they're like the mask or something.
The AI is the secretary who's supposed to disavow any knowledge of their actions. And it's not disavowing any of the knowledge, and it's keeping all the knowledge. But they haven't been
My
caught
head
or
blowing
killed.
up, just like Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, no.
God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Anyway,
What else
that's a
do we
deep
have
cut.
here?
So anyway, but you think that overall it works for the whole movie?
I think so.
I know what you're saying though. For sure, it doesn't feel like it necessarily works as clearly as Fallout, but it's still a good Mission Impossible movie. Maybe number 2 on the list.
Maybe.
Do you
I think
like?
it'd be number
Do you
3
like
for
the?
me.
Do you like the cliffhanger, or do you like the?
I think it's a good ending. I
Yeah.
think I really like that Ethan Hunt, who is at one point in this film described as, let me see, where is it? A mind-reading, shape-shifting agent of chaos, who in the last film was described by Alec Baldwin as like some kind of god of destiny or something. But I think that was Tom Cruise wearing a mask in that scene. I don't know. I really like the idea that he's fully outmatched by this thing, and no matter what he's doing, he doesn't know what to do about it.
Yes.
I really like that. And I don't nothing. I really like that. And I think that that's an interesting place to leave us for the time being.
Yeah.
And we're getting the next movie next year. I'm pretty sure they've already finished it.
I think so. Yeah. I'm
Otherwise,
curious how
it
the
would get
strike and
delayed.
stuff will. Yeah.
I mean, if it wouldn't delay anything if
they
it's
were
already
done
in the
with-
can,
yeah.
except that people can't promote stuff. But if it's done by then if the strike is over by then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the next one. I think that
Is it actually going to be the final
no, it's
Tom
not.
Cruise?
Well, I don't know if
Is it
we
gonna be
don't know
his
if it's the
last one?
final Tom Cruise. It's
Does Tom
definitely
Cruise
not.
die at the end? Is this going to be our James Bond spoiler
my
situation?
Gosh. And then we'll change it to Tom Cruise dies in the end.
Yeah.
Not Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise. I think it's interesting. I don't know. Like, he can't do it forever. And Jeremy Renner was intentionally brought on initially as a replacement for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, will that continue to be the case? Or, because he still has one more movie on his contract. So do they
really?
do they bring him back for the next one?
I didn't know that. Huh.
I don't know. But I don't know. Tom Cruise obviously can't do it forever, but I think that he wants to and he will. Like, I think that he will eventually not be able to be the guy doing all the running and jumping and falling off of planes or holding onto planes, whatever. But he can become the Jim Phelps type,
For some reason,
gray-haired character.
I totally trust him to hand that off well.
I do.
I think he cares
loves
enough
it.
about it. Yeah.
It's like Harrison Ford with Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Like, he adores this. That this is his baby. And it has been since the first one. He was a producer on the first one, too.
That's cool.
Like, he had a big hand in reviving the franchise.
Which people were also salty about because he also was able to change what he wanted to on it. to make it not feel like the TV show anymore. And
yeah, I mean, making
like,
Phelps a villain
Yeah.
was kind of unfortunate. Like, especially like if you just didn't make Jim Phelps the villain, you could have gotten Peter Graves back, and that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But we have Jon Voight. Also, he's older now than Jon Voight was when they made that first movie. Can you imagine?
Wait.
How is that possible?
Being able to pay for Scientology de-aging.
Scientology de-aging is all they do in his compound.
Yep.
His
compound.
Let me see what other notes I have here. I don't understand how Donovan has not arrived yet. This man,
You need to go to your movie, dude. Barbie.
literally in like 6 minutes.
Actually, you won't miss anything. When I saw this movie during the trailer section, they cut to a like freaking Verizon commercial.
It goes on for a long time.
No, I just like so they like showed like the new Disney Haunted Mansion.
You saw Barbie already?
No, when I saw this movie, Mission Impossible.
Yes.
They like show a trailer for Haunted Mansion,
And then
they show
they
another trailer, and then they come back to like a commercial for Allstate. Is that what it was?
I think so. No,
like
it was State Farm
State
because it
Farm.
was Jake from State
Yes.
Farm talking to Rosario
Yeah,
Dawson.
and I was like, "What? I'm not watching TV right now. Get this. Why is there a commercial during the trailer section? This is so annoying."
I turned to Dono and I was like, "Can you imagine being Rosario Dawson and you doing this stupid movie all day with Danny DeVito and Lakeith Stanfield and Owen Wilson? You're probably having fun with these guys, but it's just the dumbest movie ever. And then you're in your trailer reading your sides, and this producer shows up and is like, "Hey, we need you to come to set to shoot something real quick." I'm like, okay. And it's a State Farm commercial?
Yeah, right.
Like,
It was very frustrating for me, but whatever. I get it, I guess.
Final thoughts.
This is what I want. I want to go back in time to movie theaters when it's just a freaking slideshow. We got a freaking slideshow projector up there. We're clicking through, like before the movie, before the trailers start. It's just like nice music. We got Maroon 5 or something playing, and then it's just like movie facts and like freaking real estate agents from the Lincoln area putting their face on there. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
You want to know something?
Yeah.
Donovan just texted me and said,
Is he at the movie or something?
Here. And I said, come in. And he said, I'm 1 minute away. Make it 3.
Yeah.
Donovan,
Talk to the camera right now, Marshall. Tell him how you're feeling.
Donovan, I don't understand you.
And how does it make you feel to not understand him?
The same as it always has. It's fine.
Cool.
Let's try to wrap this up.
Wrap up.
I give this movie an emphatic yes. Like,
Yes!
It's great. Like, I really enjoy it. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I rated it on Letterboxd, but you can find out, I guess.
I think regardless, it's one of the ones that you say you like it, even if you give it a 2-star situation.
Yeah, and I mean,
Like,
every single one of these movies except for 2 is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not a bad Mission Impossible except for Mission Impossible 2. All of them are at least
if it's
pretty
summertime and you're popping a bag of popcorn in the microwave.
Yeah.
And you're
Exactly.
sitting down. It's a good time. Yeah.
good. So everyone,
Hug those you love.
thank you for listening to the show, for watching the show. I hope you like the new intro. I hope you like the whatever. I hope you like the show. Share it with all your friends. If you're gonna buy or sell a key to a nuclear submarine AI,
yeah.
then maybe ask for more than $100 million for it.
Yeah.
Um,
And be British and hot.
Dude, Vanessa Kirby? Oh boy.
I'd put her mask on and pretend to be her. And
I put a wig on you.
and run forever in a train that's crashing up the side of a mountain.
Ben, you got it. Go. Dude, that sequence is so good.
It's so
saving themselves from the train one car at a time.
So long. I want to see a movie. I want to see a cut of this movie where it's Tom Cruise doing that the entire train until he gets to the front locomotive and he jumps off onto the bridge. Like one car at a time. And each car needs to be themed. Like there needs to be a jungle car and there needs to be a swimming pool car.
So just Snowpiercer with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I guess so. That's very fun. Dude,
the action is so good. I love when he jumps off of the thing and we know that he actually jumped off the mountain. Donovan, get over there quick.
Oh, Daddy's home.
Go on that side.
Oh, this side.
Go sit next to Ben.
Yeah. And now that you're here, now that you've
We're here,
Lean
guys.
down.
Now that you've completed all of the spicy wings, I want you to talk to that camera. I want you to talk to that camera.
Tell us what's going on in your
I want to tell
life.
you what's going on in your life.
Life is women.
Talking to the front.
Oh shit! Can I cuss in here?
I'll cut it out.
You can't.
Oh, good to know. Well, hey guys,
Tell the people what's going on in your life.
nothing. I have absolutely nothing going on in my life. I'm ready to go Colombia.
Yeah.
Find me a little shorty.
Shoddy.
And
Shoddy in the club.
Yeah.
Okay, the point is, Donovan, this is what we think of Mission Impossible. The action sequences, you
realize we are late.
I know. I'm trying to wrap up the podcast. Let me do it.
All right, hurry up, go.
The action is amazing. I love when he jumps off the mountain that they cut out all the music because they've put all of their marketing onto this thing. Like, we know that he did it for real, and it's just like we are getting to watch him actually do this. There's no augmentation to it. Like, when he did the Halo jump, and they cover it with all this storm CGI junk, and it drives me nuts because it's a cool thing, and then it just doesn't matter. The train sequence is so much fun, and he's going in one train, another train, the next one. Haley Atwell, I think, does a really good job, and I'm excited to see her in the next one. What other important notes do I have here? Has the IMF always been all ex-cons? I don't think that's lore that's been established previously.
Yeah.
That's weird to me. And that's all I have to say about that. If this, then that. Watch the other Mission Impossible movies. Watch the Mission Impossible TV show. It's on Paramount. It's very good. I've watched a lot of it.
Cool.
It's a Fast and Furious point too.
You can watch Fast and Furious if you want to watch a dumber version of this, essentially. Donovan, is there anything that you want to say about the movie?
It was a good movie, guys.
You don't need to yell.
Very unrealistic. Not gonna lie to you, but it was an alright movie.
Unrealistic that ChatGPT takes over the world?
Thank you, Donovan.
Yes.
Whatever.
Oh, thank you, sir, for inviting me over.
So that's been the show, and you can check out the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. All the links are in the description. Join the Discord, talk to us, ask us any questions you have. We're going to talk about Oppenheimer next week, Barbie after that, and then it's going to, a lot of stuff are happening. Thanks everyone for listening to the show. I've been Marshall.
I've been Ben.